نتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته. يقول نبينا صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he says in a very beautiful hadith, إن الله لا ينظر إلى صوركم وأموالكم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look towards your appearances and your wealth. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not judge us based off of whether we are good looking or ugly. People judge you based off of that. You know, people nowadays, they put so much ihtimam and so much focus into their way they look and their money. Just think about how most people spend their days. They go to work, or they go to school so that they can work to make money. And then they go to the gym, and that's basically their day. Thinking about their wealth and thinking about their appearances. That's all they focus on. That's why you see the culture nowadays, so much emphasis is put on how you look. Making sure that you look good and you look strong, you look buff. Making sure that so many people care about their diets. I mean, you should care about your health. But you should care about your health for other reasons, not so that you look, so that you have this sort of appearance that that you show in front of people. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look at these things. There's a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam where he was sitting and there was one of the companions that was near him, a man had passed by, and he was from Ashraf. He was from the Ashraf of the Arab. Very noble man, handsome, and the Prophet ﷺ asked the man that was sitting next to him, what do you think about that guy? And then he said, Hariyun in khatab an yunkah. He said, if this man were to, offer himself for marriage to any woman, he'd be married. In shafa and yushafa, and if he were to, intercede on anybody's behalf, he would be taken. وَإِنْ قَالَ اسْتَمَعْ, and if he were to talk, people would listen to him. Why? What did he judge him based off of? His looks. And then another man that walked by and passed by, he was poor, faqih. And the Prophet ﷺ, he asked him, what do you think about this guy? He said, حَرِيٌّ إِنْ خَطَبْ أَنْ لَا يُنْكَحْ. He said, this man, if he were to offer himself for marriage, nobody would marry him. وَإِنْ قَالَ لَا يُسْتَمَعْ. If he speaks, nobody wants to listen to him. When شَفَعْ لَا يُشَفَعْ. And when he intercedes, nobody's going to take his shafa'ah. Get out of here. Who are you, poor man? And the Prophet ﷺ, when he says about the second man, he said, this man هَذَا خَيْرٌ مِّن مِلْءِ الْأَرْضِ مِثْلِ هَذَا. He said that this man, this poor man, is better. Just this one man is better than if the whole world was filled with that first man. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look towards our ajsam. He does not look towards our appearances. You could have someone that is really, really handsome or really beautiful from the woman, and she can be in the depths of hellfire. And you could have someone who is the most ugly person be in Firdaus al-A'la. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look towards our appearances. He looks towards our qulubikum wa a'malikum. And another point, Muslims, we focus too much on we've become affected by this culture, looking at the exterior, making sure that we look good in front of people. And so that's why you'll find sometimes people, when they build masajid, they build huge structures, millions and millions of dollars. And then when the Jum'ah, when they have a problem with when Jum'ah gets full, they're like, oh, we need to expand. But there's no durus going on. The people that are leading the salawat are not qualified. There is no khidmah being done to the youth in the community. There is nothing going on inside of the masjid, but people just keep expanding and expanding and expanding. What is this? Who is this going to benefit? The walls are not going to benefit anybody. What's the focus is the qulub and the a'mal. And that's why you'll find that the Prophet ﷺ's masjid was so humble. And yet there was so much activity going on. And that's why our focus should also be in bringing activity into the masjid, not just in expanding. But this does not mean that we do not make our masjids beautiful. خُذُوا زِينَتَكُمْ عِنْدَ كُلِّ مَسْجِدٍ. We should make our masajid beautiful, but it should come with the intention that we want to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a beautiful space. Not so that we make a beautiful space so that we can show off to the Christian neighbors or show off to other communities. No, our intention should be that we do it because we want to pray in a beautiful space. So again, وَلَكِنْ يَنظُرُ إِلَىٰ قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالِكُم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looked towards your hearts. Did He stop there? No. Then He said, وَأَعْمَالِكُم. A lot of people you'll find sometimes, they say, قَلْبِي أَبْيَض. My heart is white. Alhamdulillah. He said, they don't pray, they don't do this. But he said, at least my heart is white. I don't have any hiqt. I don't have any hatred towards people. I don't have jealousy towards people. I don't have any of these things. At least my heart is white. قَلْبِي نَظِيف, But that's not where it stops. وَلَكِنْ يَنظُرُ إِلَىٰ قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالِكُم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not just look at your hearts, but He looks towards your actions as well. Because your actions reflect what is in your heart. If you are a person who does not pray, if you are a person who does not fast in Ramadan, if you are a person who sits in mixed gatherings with women, if you're a person who does not read Quran, and then you want to tell me your qalb is abyad? No, your qalb is aswad. Your heart is not white like you think. It's actually black. It's hard, like a rock. Because your actions reflect what is inside. So if you want to tell me that your heart is clean, but mashallah all of your a'mal is dirty, nobody's going to believe you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look towards our appearances and our wealth, but He looks at our hearts and our actions. So our actions should reflect what is in our hearts. And if our hearts are pure, our actions will reflect what is in our hearts. We will become people of prayer. We will become people that read Quran. We will become people that are interested more in ilm. We will become people that want to learn more about Islam. Because our a'mal tells us what is in our hearts. If your heart is not pure, your a'mal would prove that as well. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to purify our hearts, and so that we can meet Him بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.